All right, good morning, movers. Day 17 already. Here we are in the final stretch. We're at that point where we know the warm-up routine here, this power warm-up routine. We know what all the elements are and why they work. We know how to do them. We've started learning a little bit about the breath, and we've started to do the full routine with the breath. And now we're getting to that point where we're developing a habit. For some of you, you're hopping on every morning, hashtag live, you're here, you're out of bed, you're ready to go. That routine is already solidifying. And for those of you that have been watching the replays, you're starting to get into that habit of, cool, it's my lunch break or it's the end of the day. Let me hop into the group, let me watch the replay, let me move my body around. And because of it, we feel better. And that's the key here is, anytime we're trying to build a habit and create a routine, we need that positive reward. And the positive reward in this sense is that our body feels physically better. Well, we can reduce pain and stiffness, and we can improve range of motion, but we also create mental clarity through training our mind how to focus. And that's a really important thing in the world of meditation, which translates into golf, is our ability to hold and maintain focus. And that's really key. Focus is kind of like training a muscle. Okay, if we were in the gym lifting weights, it's not like we want to just pick up this heavy weight and hold it there forever. We eventually want to put it back down, take a moment, and pick it back up. And that's exactly what we want to translate over into golf, is when we're standing over a ball, we don't want to be in that super deep state of focus, that flow zone the whole time, because we'll burn out. It's hard to maintain that for 4 or 5 hours. But if we can learn how to go into that state of focus, hit the shot, and then come out completely and be able to look around and say, wow, let's appreciate how great this is out here. This is a beautiful course. I'm getting good exercise. I'm with great people. And then when that time comes, we're back into the shot, 100% focus, intention behind the shot, and then we come back out of it. And that's something that we can train. Um, we hear all the time people talk about meditation is clearing the mind. I don't think that's true. I think meditation is the ability to maintain focus on a singular thing. And oftentimes that's the breath. And that's what we're doing right now, is if we can train ourselves to be in that nice state of mind through incorporating power breathing with power stretching, all of a sudden we have a skill that translates onto the course as well. So let's jump into it. I've been talking quite a bit this morning. Let's do our hand and foot circles. We're breathing, squeezing that forearm nice and tight. A lot of you are probably finding out by this point that you're tight in different places, maybe now than you were 2.5 weeks ago. And that's great. Like we said in the very early stages of learning each of these components, that it's going to change every day. So where we push down in the neck or in the shoulder and how much range of motion we have as we're doing these exercises, that's all going to change. And every day is going to be a little bit different. Maybe you slept a little bit differently. Maybe you even just had just better sleep and you're waking up feeling more refreshed. Or maybe you had a bad sleep and now you're stiff and your neck hurts a little bit and your shoulders hurt. That's okay. Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to perform some just general maintenance on our own body to keep us in the best condition that we can possibly be without having to seek out a professional medical attention. We don't want to have to see a chiropractor. We don't want to have to see a physical therapist. We want to be able to do as much work on ourselves as we possibly can, and then reserve those professionals for the things that we can't do. Okay? There are certain things that, just no matter how many exercises and stretches we do, we're still going to have some problems. And that is the time that we go seek out a professional. Okay? Like, don't get me wrong. I love going and getting a massage. But do I want to spend $100 to $200 on a massage when I can do the same thing myself and I can do a better job? Well, no. Now, granted, there are some areas that I can't get very well, and sure, I'll go ahead and see a masseuse and let them work those spots out. But for 90% of the areas that I'm going to be tight, I can work on them myself. And because I'm the one doing the work, instead of somebody else being the one that does the work, it's actually more effective. And that's something we'll talk about a little bit later, but this idea of active mobility versus passive mobility. And what we're learning here in this power warm-up routine is active mobility, where we are the ones doing the work. We are the ones moving the body and manipulating the tissues. Passive mobility, like a massage, is when somebody else or something else does the work. And don't get me wrong, a massage or any other kind of passive mobility technique will temporarily improve range of motion. But if it's not your body doing the work, if it's not your brain sending the signal to your body saying move, then it doesn't last. And that's what makes power stretching so unique, is we're able to be the one, like right now. My brain and my nervous system are communicating to my body, saying bend down, touch your toes, stand up, squeeze your butt, push the hips back. Okay, because I'm doing it, we're conditioning our body to retain this range of motion. If we go and get a massage, we're going to feel good. Our range of motion is going to be active and improved, but it's not going to last. Okay, it's like we stretch it on out and then it just tightens right back up. But if we can stretch it out and then activate all those muscles while they're lengthened, we retain that range of motion. So there is a time and a place for passive mobility. There is a time and a place for active mobility. When in doubt, active mobility is the way to go, unless, of course, you need passive mobility to be able to do active mobility. Okay? So, like if you're having trouble with this power warm-up routine, for example, because you have problems with your neck and you can't twist, for example, like I'm doing right now, well, cool. Go see a professional. Go see a chiropractor. Go see a massage therapist. Work out that tension that's restricting your neck, and then come back and do this. Because at that point, you'll be able to move better. And then once you're here and you can do these exercises, then they're going to start to stick. And your need to work with that massage therapist again or that physical therapist, it's going to start to go away. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The more we take control of our own mobility and work on improving our own range of motion, the more it sticks and the better it's going to be for us in the long run. So like I've been saying since day one, you get out of this routine what you put into it. So you can go through the motions and waste 10 minutes every day, or you can actually put in the work and make those 10 minutes work for you. Because I'm sure all of you at this point are starting to find out that when you do this in the morning and when you do this in the middle of the day, everything becomes a little bit easier. It becomes easier to get out of bed the next morning. It becomes easier to put your shoes on. It becomes easier to play with the kids or to walk the dogs. It becomes easier to carry that basket of laundry up the stairs. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Mobility is universal for all humans, regardless of the activity. So whether you're a golfer, or you play tennis, or you're a runner, hockey player, I don't care what it is. If you can't move well, you're not going to perform at your best. And there's always going to be some kind of compromise in what you're able to do. But when we show up every day and we put in that work, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, then we set ourselves up on a completely new trajectory that's going to help us throughout the rest of the day. And there you have it, the power warm-up. 5 to 10 minutes every day. We're already done, and now we can do everything else that we want to throughout the day. Let's see if we have any questions coming in. I didn't see any yet. But we're just going to refresh the screen, see if there's any that popped up that I didn't see come in. We got a couple hashtag lives. We got a good morning. Perfect. Love that. If anybody who is on the call still, if you have any questions at this point, I know there's a slight delay, so I'll wait just a second here. But if you have any questions down in the comments, now is the time. And let's just see if we had any pop in from yesterday's video that maybe I missed. Okay, so no, so all just replays at this point. Perfect. All right, just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, everybody. We'll catch you all tomorrow for day 18. As always, move better, play better.